Low key, I didn't know that Kunimitsu's new voice actress was basically the girl from Compulsive Gambler that I can't even say Kakugaru. Anyway, I can't. I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing it. That's super dope because I heard her voice and I'm like, man, that shit sounds so fucking familiar. But yeah, I was in the middle of doing like going back through her backstory because I remember she was in the first Tekken game. I didn't know she was a sub boss for Michelle. That's super dope. So yeah, that's something I like to do. I usually will go through any legacy character. I was like, man, I don't remember them, like Bruce or something like that, or I'll just go back through their story. So while I'm just bored and not having anything to do. Anywho, God, what was I doing? Why are we here right now? Ah, man, I haven't done this shit in so fucking long. So I need to get my shit together, man. This stain on my shirt, dude. Like, what is it? Anyway, how you guys doing? Hinchin' a go go, all that jazz. It's been a while. It's been a while. Well, I'm here to say that Tekken Season 4 is looking really fucking good. I was thinking about talking about the trailers for Kunimitsu and for Season 4, and they're really fucking good. I kind of watched them ahead of time because I really couldn't help myself, and I wanted to see what was going on. And there's not much to say besides, I mean, and also the Kunimitsu in general, I like her. I'm not a huge super fan. Like, a lot of people were really, really excited to see her, whatnot. And I mean, it's good to have legacy characters back. But I think I'm just not super over the top. I think why I'm here, honestly, is just something personally, or basically the whole discussion with Michael Murray and Harada. That big discussion that they're essentially having, talking about Season 4 changes and whatnot. I really like this overlay. Like, that shit is super cool. Like, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Like, I always have to have something King or Armor King related. Pro wrestling, like, is just my shit. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, if there's ever that cutoff in anywhere in the world, I'm buying that shit. Like, I'm copping it, like, on site. I'm just gonna have this in the background to kind of have as a point of reference. Anyway, going back to what we were talking about. The good things from here are really the openness that was there. I just want to talk about that a lot and why there needs to be more of that in basically development processing, especially in fighting games. I haven't seen that really ever. I guess to address the reason behind it is this: times are weird right now, and before all this, COVID shit was going on, which I hope you're doing your best to take care and pull through in these trying times. Before all this was going on, I feel like there was a real disconnect between developmental process of, well, not just video game making. Oh, yeah, fighting games, but also video game making. I had those backwards. Anyway, with that being said, there's the disconnect is like, we're going to make this and we'll key you in on little bits and like, where we are, and here's a trailer here and there, like, what we're doing. I'll turn up the volume a little bit. We'll key you in a little bit on, what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. Not too much, just a little bit. But really, the final product is kind of what you get at some point, and we'll kind of let you know about, here's what we're doing. And that was pretty much the norm for a while, pretty much up to this point. Guilty Gear Strive is kind of the first time I've really seen where the developers are like, hey, please tell us what the fuck we're doing wrong. We want to know what we're doing wrong. And so, that being said, other games like Street Fighter, Tekken, let me go and say, not the games themselves, the developers like Capcom, Bandai Namco, ArcSys, Some of those developers were, I mean, for a while, kind of set in their own path. Killer Instinct is a perfect example. Another good example of a game where, like, from the beginning, they made the game for fighting game people, and they kind of reached out to fill in those niche, not even just niche things, but just the things that, like, you know, quality of life, things that people would use and appreciate. And with things being weird now, that standard really doesn't fucking work anymore, and people were fed up with that for a long time. And so with that backstory being said, here we are currently in this time, you know, Tekken Season 4, I honestly didn't think we'd be here. Like, this is nuts. Like, we're in Season 4, we got fucking almost damn near every legacy character from past Tekken games, albeit maybe we don't have Bruce Irving. I'm trying to think, what legacy characters don't we have at this point? So, we got Ganryu. We've got pretty much, no, excuse me, I'm thinking of legacy characters that weren't on the original roster when this game came out. We got Armor King, Marduk. Nope, Marduk was in 4. I'm gonna go, let's do Tekken 2 as, yeah, Tekken 2. So, Armor King, Ganryu, no, I was gonna say Julia, but that's Michelle. We got Lei. He wasn't on the original cast. We got Anna. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. I think Kunimitsu is kind of the only one extra. Everyone else was pretty much there, like Brian. No, Brian was in 3. What am I talking about? I think that's it, actually. I can't think of anyone. If I miss one, please let me know. There's an original Tekken 2. No, we don't have... No, the animals weren't in there yet. Alex. Was Alex in Tekken? Alex was in Tekken 2. I think Alex was in Tekken 2. The fucking boxing dinosaur. I think he was. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. Anyway, we're in a cool time where we have these legacy characters now. We got them all back. But on top of that, you know, developers are listening, and that's really good to see. I'm glad to see that they're taking feedback, because at this point, they really have to. Like, they absolutely have to, because that's the disconnect, though, that can't exist anymore. And I guess the whole purpose of this video is to kind of, you know, applaud Harada. You know, the guy said, don't ask me for shit. He's still kind of like that. But, you know, that attitude of, you know, you have only answers with no real explanations why they are there is kind of gone now. I mean, it was cute, you know, years ago, where it's like this mysterious mystery of like how this game works and frames, and like it's all part of learning the game. You know what? Like, distant father, but he's also so cool. It's like, yeah, you know what? That shit is not really gonna fly anymore, because we're in a time where we want quality, but not just quality. We want to be able to understand why these things are going on. If you guys can't, if there's a problem with the netcode, probably should do something about it. If there's a reason behind it, then explain that. And that's what this video had, and that's what Michael Murray and Harada over there explaining. It's like, we're gonna do our best. We changed some of the delays, I'm not an expert on rollback. I understand I'm very minimal on knowing what it actually is, because I've seen the documentaries of Killer Instinct and how rollback works, and reading your inputs, guessing into the future, and how, you know, before then I kind of said you can just put it in any game, in which is kind of true but kind of can't, because it does mess with some of the, you know, the way the game actually functions. And I didn't know that for a long time. I did not know that. So I had this blind understanding of just do it, you know, and it'll work just fine. And that's not how it goes, you know. So with that being said, that doesn't mean that you can't try your hardest to, you know, make the best of what systems you have. And they explain that, and they go into detail very, very much about things they tried and things they're going to do. And you know what? God damn it, freaking ad. You know what? I'm so glad to see that as a breath of fresh air. I want to see that from Capcom. I want to see that in any future game development after, all these things are going to return back to normal at some point. Probably not anytime soon. However, even past then, I want this to be the new normality of like being open about what's going on and not this, here's what we got and it's set. I want this to be an organic process where, good ideas are considered and put out there and then explained to, like, here's why this doesn't work. Because living in this vacuum of like development, that time is so fucking in the past now, and I'm really happy to see that that's the case. And people have a voice now, just normal people. This is not just like big name play. I mean, granted, they're the people that fucking dominate a Tekken and fucking take world tours, like it's not even an issue, are going to basically be the front runners. And those are the hardcore people. I can say I'm a hardcore person because I go to tournaments and I try my best, but at the end, based on my skill and what I've achieved, I'm just an average person. But I have the ability to say something, and so do you, and so does everyone else. We're all on equal ground with this, depending on where you're at. Whether you are committed to learning the ins and outs of the game and being the best that there is in the world, or if you're just a person that really likes this game a lot for the characters and just want to hit buttons and do cool shit. I mean, you can also voice your opinion and feel like you're being heard in this time. And what was it? The most recent Dragon Ball where they released Master Roshi. They kind of sort of had a thing where they said, we're trying our best. I feel like Dragon Ball fighters won't have any drastic changes too soon. Don't quote me on that. I really hope that's not the case. I don't know what Capcom is currently doing in Street Fighter V besides adding the new character list. That shit's gonna take like 5 years to do. No, it's gonna take 1 full year, but that's crazy long, man. I don't know what they're planning on doing up and through the next gen release, but that's a long ass time for development of 5 characters, man. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, getting back on track. Long story short, just wanted to point out the appreciation and openness of Harada-san and Michael Murray with their discussion on netcode and everything we're doing and this and that in the background. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that. So that out of the way, to get back to specific things, I guess I did want to talk about a few things as far as specifically Tekken in the Season 4 updates. Stuff that I like and kind of everything else in between, in no apparent order. There's going to be new moves, and they did talk about, the Wi-Fi indicator, which is good. I'm still a little bit worried, though. Even like I said, I just applauded them on their performance and just being open with their ideas, and that's really cool. I think what it is just, I'm personally, sorry, I need to take a drink. Sorry, I need some coffee. Sorry, I'm just personally one of those I'm personally one of those people that is like, I need to see something in order to believe it. So they say Wi-Fi indicator, that's cool. I feel like that's the Season 1 style of like showing like who this person is and their name, and their disconnect rate. Like, they changed it in a weird way, but I'm glad to see that they're going to show like, hey, this person is using Wi-Fi. Probably shouldn't play them. And also a rollback and netcode improvement. They said that, and I trust them, but I'm also like, I need to see it and use it in order to understand, like, okay, this works. I can't fully be on board until I know. But I'm going to be optimistic and say that it's going to be a real big improvement. Nonetheless, I'm still looking really forward to things. I haven't been making a lot of content for the channel, but I do want to say I've been practicing a lot of just, I mean, when I do get the chance to play Tekken, I definitely focus more on other characters more than ever, because it's like, not in competition or not doing anything, you might as well practice with other characters, and it's just good overall to know other characters. You know their matchups, strengths, weaknesses, and it's actually fun to play other people. Even if you really are set on one character, it's doesn't make you a non-character loyalist. You just understand other characters better and how you can use yours better to beat those guys. So there's a reason why Nee is the best in the world, not just because he is extremely well versed at the game and been playing since essentially the beginning of time in Tekken, but also because he just plays everybody. He switches characters based on matchups. That's just how he plays. But he also just knows what the fuck they do, and that's what you're missing out on, that knowledge. That's what they're going for with this. And so what was it specifically? Not the new moves. Oh, duh. What am I talking about? So, Harada-san talked about health bar increasing. And I had no idea about that. I hadn't heard any. I think that's just something like they threw in there. You know, because he was saying like, what was it, along the lines of, you know, people are fucking, you know, Tekken's kind of always been like that, I feel, since the beginning. You know, you can do a fucking grip of damage if you know what the fuck you're doing. It's not one of those games that kind of gives you damage. It's more or less, if you really want the good shit, like if you want the full carry into the wall, you gotta know your character pretty thoroughly. You can't just do it. Granted, some characters like fucking Rom and Leroy, when they first came out, they were like, you know, you could get pretty fucking heavy damage easily. But they talked about increasing the health bar, making it bigger. And I guess I didn't really think about for a second how big the health bars were in past games. That's crazy. I actually really like that idea because it's, like you said, it increases, you know, it doesn't increase the skill gap, it increases the basic goal, the intensity of the game, because if your health is minuscule, you're going to be a lot more risky. There's going to be a lot less, you know, action between both players. Whereas if the health is kind of, if you have some room to work with, you're going to be a lot less worrisome. There's going to be a lot more, there's the gameplay, the way you play is going to change. Just different, just completely change. And that's really good, because at Season 4, we're like, I mean, I didn't personally think we'd be here, so there's going to need to be some more changes, you know? So, with a health bar increase, it's like, damn, I don't have to worry about dying in 2 hits, or a combo and then another reset, and then into the wall. You know, I have a chance to possibly make it back if I know what I'm doing, because I got some room to work with. Cool. I'm all about that. And that honestly doesn't change the difficulty of the game. It makes it, in fact, a lot more interesting to watch and play. So, good on you guys. What was it? I mean, the netcode, like I said, that's something I gotta see. Health, I didn't expect that at all. New moves are gonna be new moves. You know, every character's gonna have their own new little thing. New sweat in ranked mode. All this is leading to basically, is ranked mode going to be worth it? Again, I'd say maybe in Season 1 it was, because like I said, you could see the person and their, you know, you could see all their info and if they're going to disconnect and whatnot, and, you know, if they're worth playing. I don't think the sweat is going to be, there's always going to be sweat in games, you know, no matter where you go, even if the game is like, got it set up to be Tekken God Omega. Oh, I was like, yo, you know what? I think if I really tried, I could get the Tekken God Prime. Absolutely, you know. And I feel like if anybody put their mind to it, I definitely would, you know, give it a try. But you know, I'm more concerned about having fun, and I feel like in my path to just play the game, I would eventually get there. But at the same time, though, it's like there was a lot of roadblocks in the way as far as, like, you know, finding enough people to play, because it takes a while to get there, man. I'm always impressed to see people get to that far, or get that far, because it's like, damn, I have a hard time finding games on the PC sometimes. It's like, how long does it take? You know, at least a few months. So they're gonna wipe the site clean, pretty much reset not completely back to beginner, but they're gonna go back to like the lowest rank, I guess, depending on where you are. So I guess if you're like, for instance, if you're in purple, you'll go back to like a mighty ruler, or if you're in red, you'll go back to Genbu, and just, work your way up. I do wonder what those fucking little hexagonal things are. I can bring the mouse. Those things, someone pointed that out on Twitter. I don't know what the fuck those are. I'm sure that has to do with getting to Tekken God Omega. Like, because there was the little news, if you keep up with, like, specific Tekken news about people boosting and paying people to play for them. It's like, some people getting ranked that don't really deserve it. I think that, honestly, is like, you have to, like, even more prestigious than Tekken God Prime. You don't just get the points. You have to not only get the points, you have to get these 3 games along with it. And God, man, I've gone a long way. Me personally, I feel too, because I used to shit on Tekken's rank system. I still do a little bit. I think it's a little too punishing. Personally, I think once you get, and I kind of still stand by that, once you get a rank, you shouldn't lose it, because you did work really hard to earn that. Like, for instance, if you get out of blue and you make it into green, or whatever, you make it your highest rank, and you don't go any lower. If I make it to red and I make it past Genbu and I'm Byakugo, but I fuck up and I lose, I shouldn't lose past my lowest rank, because I work hard to earn that. I'm not a bad player. I just had a bad streak. Everyone loses, and you're gonna lose. You have to be willing to lose your rank in order to do better. But that's just the nature of the beast with that. That's not gonna change. That's just real nitpicky type stuff. Anyway, this is gonna be a good way to basically keep people honest, I feel. But there's always gonna be a way. People cheated Fall Guys, like people are gonna find some way to not have to work hard to do this. And there's just gonna be those few people that do, and it's like, it's scummy, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Anyway, overall, I think the whole experience is going to be a good one. Like I said, I like to see the openness that has all started with that conversation, man. So, I'm just happy to see my developers speaking up. I do, before closing out, want to say a few things about what I'm doing, and then kind of go forward with with asking the question, what's next gen going to be like? That's kind of nuts. This is just kind of a question to put out for the viewers. Anybody who's still watching this channel, thank you. It's like, what's next gen gonna be like, man? Is it gonna be Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6? I know Guilty Gear Strive has already been announced on the PlayStation 5. That's nuts. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. I'm just excited for that. I'm not gonna probably buy a PlayStation 5 off the bat, because that's a lot of dough, and I'm not, I'm fairly stable, being married and everything, but at the same time, it's weird time, and probably spending that much money is not good. But even so, waiting for like a lot of good stuff to come out on it, I'm excited to see. So yeah, there's that. And then before closing out, kind of want to say what I'm doing. Not anything particular, trying to play as many games as I can, but it's hard because I do have master's courses related to agency counseling. So gotta focus on, the school grind along with, the things I'd like to do. Like, this is a hobby, and as much as I want to, I'm not always able to, which is why there's been such a big gap between me doing stuff. So whenever you do see me here, I really appreciate it when you guys do watch. I've been mostly on Twitch lately to kind of do random stuff here and there. I was playing Bloodborne for a little bit. I'm definitely going to go into the Spooktober games here soon, like scary shit. Clearing out the library, because, I try to do my best to do that. And any fighting games in between I'm feeling for. I'm like a freaking fiend. I gotta play something. One day I feel like I want to play Power Rangers, then I feel like I want to play Dead or Alive. Now I want to play, but I always have my favorites. I always have Tekken. My camera is not focused. Anyway, there's that. So I'm always trying to juggle what I'm hankering to do, and I can never, stick for one thing too long. But I need to, though. That's my issue. I'm trying to learn how to do that. So anyway, guys, if you see me on here on YouTube, I'm going to try to really do my best to post regular content again. I'm glad I'm doing this video now, not just to talk about, being open. Well, I guess we've had this whole discussion about being open with what's going on, and I'm here being open, kind of what I've always tried to do. This is just, we're all living life here, so, I got to do my best to, talk personally and share what you guys might want to know, because I'm sure some of you actually do care about this channel a lot, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So if you do catch me here, thank you. I'm also on Twitch, Cadets on the Nostromo. That's Cadets with a K. Cadets basically spelled like the channel title, and then Nostromo like the ship from Aliens. I came up with that name so long ago because me and my friends came up with Console Cadets back in high school, and it just stuck with the name. So Cadets and the Nostromo sounded cool, but it also seems like it takes a lot of effort to spell. I'm too lazy to change the name at this point, so I'm just gonna have to go with it. So yeah, catch me on Twitch, man. If you guys are ever interested or ever see me up online, I'm gonna do my best to be there more regularly if I don't have any constant work to do. So take care, you guys. Do your best to keep your spirits up. I give my best wishes to each and every one of you. And until next time, take care. Henshin a go-go. Peace out.